And I think forgiving the killer is a little bit different from the standpoint that I don't want my heart filled with hate. I don't hate that killer, by the way. I think I learned from what Erica said, which is, you know what? We don't have time to deal with him. Let the justice system deal with that. I'm going to move on past that. I'm going to go out there and be bold with my faith. I think Vice President Vance put it perfectly. He said, I've shared more about my faith in the last 2 weeks than I have in my entire life. I would add myself to that list. I have talked more on interviews, on Fox, on CNN, and others about my Christian faith, which in politics, sometimes you kind of separate it out a little bit. People know where you're coming from, but you don't really intertwine it. I won't do that anymore because it's time to move on past that.
Yeah, Megan.
Can I interject too, Mark? I mean,
Of course.
Ben and I, as you know, are very old, close personal friends, and we have leaned on each other a lot the past few weeks. I don't think you'll mind me sharing that, Ben.
100%.
And I called him right after the assassination. I was on my way to pick up my daughter at school crying, asking him to pray with me. He was telling me he was going to get fitted for a bulletproof vest. About a year ago, Ben was on my show, the first incarnation before it went to two-way, and we were just outside eating, getting a burrito, and some people came up to us and started screaming at us, filming us, yelling about, I think, Israel. It's on the bowels of the internet someplace. Ben and I go out in public sometimes, and people don't want us in their restaurants. They're very unkind, and I just think we are obviously not at Charlie Kirk's level, nowhere near it. But anyone who is conservative and public about their beliefs, you know what it feels like to be harassed in public, to have people not want to serve you, not want to be around you. You're socially ostracized in so many different ways. I worry about just like my husband and I at my kids' school right now, like we're so controversial, we're so loud, like, you know, what's going to happen to our kids socially? And that's just a different experience than it is for a liberal commentator. I would wager that Nicole Wallace does not have the same experience outside Capitol Hill eating a burrito with her conservative friend that Ben and I do. And I think that's where my anger is coming from, is like, I'm happy to tone it down and like meet in the middle and have conversations, but the other side has to do it as well. And I feel like I haven't seen a lot of good faith attempts on the other side, and in a lot of different ways. Even like, you know, Van Jones was talking about how he got a message from Charlie Kirk after he'd been assassinated. He had had a message from him that he hadn't read. And then he was asked if he would go on his show, and his answer was no, I wouldn't platform him. Like, even now, your answer is no, I wouldn't platform him. So I think it's okay to be emotional. It's okay to still be struggling through this. Erica is a very evolved woman, and a very, her devotion to her faith is very obvious to everyone. And I think we have to give some grace that not all of us are at her level yet. I'm certainly trying. I want to be that kind of Christian, but I am certainly not, again, not there.